Make sure you love whatever you're doing.
It has to be something you live and breathe. It's more like a lifestyle rather than a job. I'm Maya.
I'm Dustin.
And this is New You.
So take us to the beginning. What was the spark that built Koia?
When I met Maya, she was full of energy, but there would be certain points in a day where she would just not be well.
Yeah, I was actually 25 pounds heavier.
So we tried this elimination diet, found out she was lactose intolerant.
We started to look at incorporating more whole foods into our diet. Those were inspiration for the ingredients that we use in our product. And a lot of other people benefited, not only being lactose intolerant, but there were people that were writing us saying, they had their wisdom tooth taken out and they needed something that was nutritious.
There's people that were hospitalized, getting radiation treatment and cancer wards, and also saying this is the only thing my uncle can drink. It was quite amazing, quite touching, and it really gave us the fuel to move forward.
How would you encourage others with a good idea like yours to pursue it and take it to the next level like you guys have done?
First, make sure it's something you're very passionate about, because there are good days and there are bad days, and you try to stay on this ride as long as possible, because when you have a brand like Koia that's so incredibly successful from day one, it can be difficult at times to keep up, because the business model is always changing.
Make sure it's a part of your lifestyle and not just feels like a job, because you're going to have to work very hard every day. A lot of people have a misconception that when you start a business, you can just relax and hire people to do all the hard work, but it takes so much hard work. You have to live, breathe it every day.
And how did you overcome your own personal self-doubt? Do you have any advice for people out there?
Overcome your self-doubt is to be an expert in your area. So that might mean after a full day of work, going home and learning, reading as much as you can. Maya and I have this method that we use. Let's look at what we know, our resources, and let's look at all the options, and let's make the best decision that we can together based on this criteria.
I would also say one other tip for overcoming self-doubt is having people around you. People around you always cheering you on, whether that's friends or family.
And getting rid of people you shouldn't have around you.
Yeah, definitely.
What's the one caution you'd relay about building a huge national brand?
In business, you really have to keep your expectations very low, because what can go wrong will absolutely go wrong.
I call it the 2X rule. So when you're going national with any type of product, it's gonna take twice as long, cost twice as much. So be ready for it. Always under-promise and over-deliver. Do not over-promise and under-deliver. It will not go well.
You had a super successful exit strategy. What are the 2 tips to doing this?
Really know what you want to do after, because your entire life and your entire well-being is tied to this big thing that's now bigger than you could ever dream of.
Enjoy the journey, not the end result. But the practical advice for how to have a successful exit, get a good lawyer who looks at all of your paperwork. Everybody that is successful that I've met has a lawyer or a panel of lawyers, so you do not want to be at an unfair advantage.
So tell us how success has changed you, and is there anything you'd like to share, any surprises about fame and success? And
People they have these misconceptions. You think that you're gonna feel different, and you don't really feel different. The problems still exist.
I would say on the plus side, people will now answer emails, and people in the food industry, because it's so specific where our success exists, it just gives you a lot of opportunities for collaborations, mentorships. So we're right back to working again, probably harder than we were before.
Yeah.
What advice would you give aspiring founders of a startup?
I would make sure that they know to slow down and enjoy the journey, because you want to make sure you're just not in a fight or flight response all the time. I have to get this done, I have to get this done. Sometimes you just gotta stop and enjoy where you're at.
I would first of all help them build an amazing, incredible A-team around them. I would recommend that they get an executive coach to help them out, professionally in the day-to-day.
Yeah, just make sure that they have the proper support system and the training wheels in the beginning, and that they know what's ahead of them.
You are on the Forbes 30 under 30 list. How does it feel to know that your entrepreneurship in food and beverage industry is being recognized?
I was a very shy person in my industry and didn't feel like I had credibility, didn't feel very much like stepping into my power. After making the Forbes 30 under 30 list, it really helped me realize how much my work had affected other people on a positive level, it was such a game changer.
What do you think is the most significant barrier to female leadership?
I think a lot of women struggle with imposter syndrome because we're told so much that, we're not good enough, or we're not as great as men, or we're in these situations where there's nothing but men around us. And so we automatically feel much smaller than what we are, but we really need to recognize our own intelligence. There's boys clubs that exist, so why can't there be women's clubs that exist to help each other and uplift one another? And that's what I love so much about the female entrepreneur community.
As business partners, how do you protect your professional bond with each other?
As she changes, our relationship has to change. Boundaries must change, expectations change. But when somebody's very important to you, you make those changes and you adapt. And that's real. I support anything Maya wants to do, and that's just what it is.
How do you manage your well-being to avoid burnout?
I wake up every day, the first thing I do, no matter what, work out. So that with sleep and a healthy diet sounds very cliche, but if I don't have those three things, I'm kind of a mess.
Rest is essential. I think a lot of people, especially in this hustle culture, they think, oh yeah, stay up as long as possible, get as much work as done as possible. But it's like, if you don't rest, then
you make mistakes.
Yeah, you make mistakes. You're not thinking clearly. You're always sprinting. But then just as much as you sprint, you have to take time to recover. So maybe that means, resting a little more, taking time to do deep learning and deep work, and not just being like on the field constantly. Once you put in the work, you can hire out and have people assist you so that you can take more time off.
How has social media impacted your privacy?
I'm actually a very private person. I used to be like early 20s, like recording every single moment of my life. But now I'm more careful of what I share. Real G's move in silence like lasagna. So it's like do as much, as you can behind the scenes, and then, surprise them, hit them with the whoa when you have something big to announce.
What can we expect next with any upcoming launches from both of you as entrepreneurs?
So the product that we're actually building together is Happy Pop.
The idea behind this came from us exiting Koia in 2021. We're in the middle of a pandemic. People are sad and people are super unhealthy. So we created an energy drink that has immunity properties and also has an herbal supplement that increases happiness.
It's made with real fruit juice. It has no added sugars, no artificial sweeteners. It's completely clean label and delicious.
Better for you energy drink, however you want to look at it. It's 100 milligrams of organic caffeine, and it's made with a juice base.
What we really wanted to do with this product and this brand, more importantly, was create something that just made people live happier, healthier lives.